All right, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is beyond an honor today. And today is also a very, very special day for me. 20 years ago, I came into relationship maritally with my husband. It's our anniversary today, a 20-year anniversary. And some of you that are on here live can see his name popping up on the screen and know that he is such a fundamental part of my whole world, my existence, and the work that I do with all of you. So I just wanted to send out a huge, huge, huge amount of love, 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 and so much gratitude to you, Brandon, for all the ways that you show up in my life and in this community and make it such a beautiful space. I can't wait for 20 more and then 20 more and 20 more and whatever it is we are blessed with to get, because it's truly been one of the most brilliant adventures of my life, being able to take this journey and this walk with you. And I feel also like today's goddess is in many ways been inspired by a lot of the adventures Brandon and I have had throughout the southwestern United States. She's an indigenous goddess, white buffalo calf woman, and our time together, journeying to Lake Powell, throughout Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, you name it. I always feel her strong presence, and it has been together and on our adventures that we've dreamed in. I would say that her energy and these pieces have come through. And as you know, we're doing chakras this week. And we're on the throat chakra. And interestingly enough, 2 nights ago, I had dreamt about a buffalo, or being at a pet store and getting a buffalo. We got 2 cows and a buffalo, really bizarre. But then yesterday in meditation, it occurred to me that I had dreamt about a buffalo, and it was too late to obviously divert in yesterday's meditation. So of course, she was meant to be with us and came very powerfully in today. So let's talk about her for a moment. And again, I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible because I so want to honor time. But I also know that in allowing ourselves to connect with the peace that she calls in and the work we do in our third chakra, that it's all going to come together. In the Lakota tradition, white buffalo calf woman is the one who brought the sacred pipe to the people and taught them to pray, how to use prayer with the pipe. And so the bowl of the pipe is considered to be the receptacle that held the tobacco and her herb, and the male and the female medicine. So you essentially were able to use the bowl to bring the medicine of both the male, the masculine, push, push, go, go, the female, the internal, and all of the other ways that we recognize that medicine. The stem of the pipe represented the male entering the female and seeding life. And in the coming together of the male and the female, the connection to the divine energy of Great Spirit was made. And so White Buffalo Woman honors this. She represents this. And as the pipe was loaded with the tobacco, every family in nature was also brought in and asked to enter into the pipe and share its medicine as prayer and praise to the heavens. And smoke was considered to be actually the visual prayer. In many traditions, indigenous traditions, the white buffalo is absolutely considered to be the most sacred. And the prayers, when we know we're seeing white buffalo, we know that our prayers are being heard and the sacred pipe is being honored. And essentially all of the cycles of life in our relationship from a humankind perspective is in harmony and balance with the earth. And so buffalo also represented the major source of sustenance for the Plains Indians. It gave meat for food, hides, clothing, warm, soft buffalo robes for long winters. Hooves were glue. The stomachs were water containers. There was not a piece of the buffalo that did not get used. And so it is that to be able to smoke the pipe, to be able to connect with the energy of the throat chakra and be able to give praise and richness for not only our life and our journey, but all of the races, the creatures, the nations, it meant that others' needs would be met. So in other words, as you and I come together in this moment, we are ensuring that the needs of others are also being fulfilled. And so it's truly, truly sacred medicine when we are working with white woman. And it's a deep, deep need for remembering that this is our ability. It's within our full capabilities to be able to hold and to honor the medicine that she teaches. And so just because today, sometimes I get inspired, and today's share was from the Medicine Card book by Jamie Sands and David Carson. Some of those details, it's important to honor the work that and the ways in which these stories get handed down. And in this case, it was through written tradition. So I'd like to speak for just a hot second about the third chakra right here in our throats. And it is on so many levels. We think of the chakras as spinning discs. You know, we've worked with the gears in the root chakra, the nesting dolls in the second chakra, the spirals in the solar plexus and the heart chakra yesterday. Throat chakra energy is not so much about the spin and more about the channels. And so I always imagine it like organ pipes coming together. And to go a layer deeper into those pipes, the way it's seen, or the way it's taught, at least in one of my modalities, in energy medicine, is that it is seven pipes that come together. 3 that are responsible for digestion and taking in, and 3 that are responsible for expressing and putting out into the world. And then a central pipe that would be symbolized by the infinity symbol for integration between the heart and the mind, right? So potent, powerful medicine right here in the throat chakra that so often, for many of us, for whatever reasons, whether we had someone, doesn't matter, I'm not going to get into the stories, for whatever reasons, this chakra gets collapsed, it gets put down. And so anytime you are not able to comfortably or adequately express yourself, most likely there's some issue or a pipe is knocked out. A lot of times I'll see it like straws scattered. You know, remember that game, Pick Up Sticks? That's what throat chakra energy looks like to me when it's out of whack, out of balance. So let's do it. Let's tune in. Enough chatter. It is time for us to drop into our meditation. With that being said, I invite each of you to close your eyes. All these stories I've been weaving for you, just taking it all in and really imagining that white buffalo standing before you in the mist on the plains on a cool day where the mist is rising, the fog is rising, and out of it emerges this massive, beautiful creature walking amongst the clouds and on the earth. This is one of the primary pictures I always envision and see when I'm connecting to white buffalo calf woman. The stillness, the force, the thunder of the hooves that the buffalo can bring in so many ways connects us to the energy of the throat, not just because of the peace pipe. What was said about the time of the peace pipe is that during medicine meetings and ceremonies and coming together of the clans, the only one who would speak was whomever was holding the pipe. That was your moment in time, because in that moment you were honoring, recognizing, witnessing life, nature, all of the creatures that have come to be. And so it was only from that space that your voice was truly in alignment and truly truth was being spoken from the depths of your soul. And so as we drop into our meditation today, calling in this truth, calling in this frequency, and recognizing that as our theme of sponsorship comes together, not only as we allow ourselves to slow down and to honor and to witness nature, life, the cycles, we also honor ourselves. And in this process, we create sponsorship, we create support, we create guidance, we create an opportunity for deep receiving. It's as though we're opening the gateways, opening the doors, and allowing the flood of white buffalo medicine to come into our bodies and to guide our hearts on the journey that we have called in. And so as we begin our meditation in this frequency and vibration of the white buffalo calf woman, my invitation to you is to bring those middle fingers to thumb and allow your energy to connect to that of the above, to feel that deep connection to the sun above your head, your soul star chakra, where this truth is living, where the map has already been laid out. The programming, the circuitry, it's all right there. Imagining it like the sun shining down upon your head. And feeling how in this moment today, white buffalo calf woman was seated into this divine plan, helping you to bring peace into your body, peace into your heart, peace into your mind, peace into your community, as we slow ourselves down to connect with it. It's nothing more than that, just allowing the connectivity, the circuitry to be built, and for the mind to find that peace, to collaborate in creating it. Collaboration, white buffalo calf woman and her wisdom taking us in as we allow that sun to meet the top of our heads, warming us, drifting down into our bodies. Again, feeling the mists beginning to lift. And as the mists of the morning rise, the white buffalo transforms into a beautiful goddess who sits before us with the pipe, holding it, sharing it, passing it to us. And those mists of the morning rise up in the smoke of the pipe, the reflection of spirit into each of our lives. And so the throat chakra, as we prepare to allow for the wisdom of this pipe to speak, as we feel ourselves grounding into the earth, the second part of our light link, by imagining sitting in the middle of this hut, in the middle of this field, wherever you find yourself with the goddess of the white buffalo, recognizing that our throat chakra sits over the thyroid that is responsible for governing metabolism, for governing the catabolic and anabolic processes in our bodies, the anabolic breaking down new tissue from less complex substances. Building new tissue from less complex substances, and the catabolic being the breakdown. So catabolic, breaking down the substances to release the energy, the heat, the fire from them. In the same way, wood in the fireplace or tobacco in the pipe is energy. And when the fire comes to it, it is releasing that energy into the ethers. In the anabolic, the ability to build. And so the thyroid governs these processes in our physical body, and so too does the throat chakra govern these processes in our energetic body, breaking down the complexity of circumstances and situations that we envision in the mind, simplifying and building anew as this wisdom enters the heart, the communication from the mind enters the heart, and vice versa. We feel this correspondence moving back and forth through these pipes like organs, like organ pipes, I should say, stacked up in our throat. And so as you envision the sun, the symbolism of it, and feel its breakdown as you move into the emotion of it. We are breaking down. That is your throat chakra doing its job. That catabolic process of breakdown, translation, transmutation in many cases. This process that unfolds allowing for the truth and the wisdom of the ways in which we see and view and interpret the world to be in alignment and resonance. But it's a subtle frequency, so subtle, so subtle. Most of us only think of the throat as projecting out, but it's also where we take in nourishment in food. It's through the throat that nourishment passes into the stomach, and it's through the throat that oxygen passes into the lungs. Feeling yourself receiving these energies as we allow ourselves to go deeper and deeper in. And then feeling our hearts. As our hearts synchronize and as the emotions build. My invitation to you in this moment is to, as you envision the pipe being passed to you, imagining White Buffalo Woman before you, sending a message, sharing, expressing her voice, her energy, her love. And so maybe you imagine her placing a hand on your forehead or your heart. Maybe you begin to see a pulse, or think in a flash of a second, you see a pulse of a color, of light. Whatever just came through, trusting it. Even if it was a distraction, an outside noise, trusting it. That interference in the field was her. Oftentimes I'll be in session and my phone is always muted, but if it's been turned on for some unknown reason, every time the text or a ring or something comes through, it's always in synchronicity with a shift in the energy body, with a shift or a release or an attachment and the activation. Spirit doesn't only work through the sensations and the feelings in our body, it works through our environment and sounds. Music coming on, air conditioning or heat coming on, the sound. On the beach, it's always a tractor going by or an airplane overhead. Trusting this. All of these different ways in which this energy is brought into our bodies to be processed by our hearts, feeling it, connecting to it as we breathe in and out, in and out, going deeper and deeper into the throat chakra, feeling your heart. How does your heart choose to express itself? Do you suddenly, especially through the throat chakra, do you suddenly feel compelled right now to give voice, to make sound, to sing? Can you hear music as though you just want to release sound? Go ahead, and if you feel it, take a moment and allow through the exhale of your breath for sound to pass over your lips, for that throat to engage, for that breath as it is exhaled. The spoken word of spirit, truth, passing through you. This simple exchange. Our throat is like the grail. If our heart is the center of love, our throat is the internalizer. It takes it in and sends it back out. So much powerful work, and yet so incredibly underrated. I invite you to begin to call forward the colors of the throat chakra: turquoise, aqua, blues. I invite you to see the spiraling vortexes of energy, the chambers that live within the center, like bridges connecting the mind, the brain to the heart, going deeper and deeper in, columns rising up, being sent down, synthesizing, processing this energy. And as we go all the way in, feeling into the ways in which energy can feel too outspoken, people who have too much to say, noticing how those energies are deeply connected to the throat chakra, the speaking up being the anabolic, putting together, expressing words into form, expressing thoughts into the word form. The keeping quiet being the catabolic, taking it in, receiving, assimilating. If it's hard for you to speak up, recognizing and allowing this catabolic energy, these chambers, to process, to release. And if there's too much in the anabolic, knowing that there's too much energy as people speak out too much anabolic energy. Again, coming back to white buffalo, calf woman, her beautiful wisdom and energy, and feeling yourself drawing, imagining drawing on that peace pipe. Feeling as you breathe in the wisdom of spirit, passing in and through your body, calming it, relaxing it, feeling the truth of spirit making its way into your lungs with each inhale. And again, exhaling, feeling the truth of spirit in your heart, the freedom, the peace that comes when we allow ourselves to slow down into this energy. As you breathe in and out, allowing this beautiful cycle of the breath as we pass through the lungs to move the energies that are stagnant, releasing them, to take in and digest the energies that we have processed, interpreting, allowing ourselves and our relationships, not only with others, but with spirit, to be balanced and harmonized. Allowing these processes to interpret and unfold naturally as we center ourselves in peace, as we connect our mind to the heart powerfully and in new ways, as we allow for the energy of peace to be what governs this chakra. The filters of peace, not the filters of threat or betrayal for saying something you should or shouldn't, or saying too much. Peace. Allowing the anchoring of knowing that when you go slow in your speech and in your connection to spirit, that what comes of you is of spirit, perfectly, divinely orchestrated and aligned, there to serve a greater purpose, oftentimes beyond our own knowing and our own wisdom. Allowing yourself to be guided on this path through your voice, through the ways in which you interpret the energy. And as we move into the very center of this chakra, imagining that figure 8, you may even feel called to trace a figure 8 on your heart, from the heart to the throat, or simply over the throat. That figure 8 blending these energies of expression and intake and receiving. That figure 8 blending deeper and deeper in, guiding you in until the blues disappear and nothing is left but everything you know and need as the buffalo provides, so too does spirit. So too are you able to be here of and for yourself. As you breathe in and out, feeling this peace reigning in your heart, the sovereignty of purpose in your voice, as you prepare to go about your day. Taking a nice deep breath in, nice big exhale, sending it all out. Now, the sacredness and the sanctity of the peace pipe in White Buffalo Calf Woman, that the work we have done today, your commitment to yourself today, has brought forward the peace in the world that is needed as we take care of ourselves, so we so too take care of our communities. It is always work. It is always concentration to come in and to get the mind to collaborate. But as peace governs, the mind is freed to trust the truth that is living within our hearts. And so I hope it is an incredible day. So much love to all of you, so much celebration. We're going to be from here heading into prep for the eclipse season. Feels like a beautiful thing to be starting it off with peace and harmony reigning over, because eclipse is all about the ride, riding the waves. Namaste. So much